similar to Louis also. Like, you know, his ex, Vanessa, I don't know if you know this. Like,
I know Vanessa.
You know her.
Mm-hmm.
I know her too. So like now she has this restraining order. You know, she claims that like Louis sent these people into her business to use her as a counselor for like narcissistic abuse. And, you know, his response is she's obsessed with him. Sounds similar, right?
I mean, when anyone goes through an abusive relationship with a narcissist, that like it's very consuming, and it like Louis seems like a real bad one. He seems worse than Jim, honestly, and that's saying a lot. And you know, I deal with Jim and his antics all the time. I'm hopeful things could get better, but you know, like I said, if history repeats itself, then like I know what I'm dealing with.
And you think Louis is worse than Jim?
I do.
Wow.
I think Louis is worse than Jim. And I don't think Teresa is as strong as she needs to be to like push back with him, because she's more of like a traditional in like more of a traditional relationship, you know?
Yeah.
Where the woman takes the back seat kind of thing, which is fine. But like it's not fine with a narcissist. Excuse me.
Yeah. I mean, but for you to say Louis is worse says a lot, because you have lived it with Jim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I still live it with Jim. Also, I got to say this. Like, am I perfectly sane? I doubt it. Are people going to disagree with like my reactions? Yeah. Are they going to disagree with like how I live my life or how I choose to raise my kids? Yeah. I'm like not a poster child for, you know, talking about narcissistic abuse. I just know my own personal experience, and I'm trying to recover from that. So I think it's worth saying that that goes for anyone who is a victim of narcissistic abuse. Excuse me. We have to be broken in a certain way. Victims of a narcissist have to be broken somehow in order to fall for a narcissist. We have to be like unattentive to red flags at the very least. And so then now you have these people who are broken in some sort of way, who are now like trying to recover, like me. And so people could say you're crazy, or like you're doing this or that, and they truly believe that. And they have the right to believe that, but it doesn't minimize my experience, and it doesn't take away from the fact that I've been abused by a narcissist. And so I think that's like incredibly important to point out that like, yes, I have my list of flaws, but that does not make me worthy of this abuse.
No, of course not.
Right.
That makes sense.
There's a lot of victim blaming, victim shaming, victim blaming, and that's just not, no one asks to, you know, have a crime committed against them, no matter like what sort of situation they put themselves in. No one is like, you know, deserving of a crime. And that's what happened to me.
Do you think that's what happened to Raquel Leviss with Tom Sandoval?
No, she's crazy. Something's wrong with her.
Really?
I don't want to talk about her. She's scary, like behind the eyes.
She scares you.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought, you know, because the word is being thrown around there with Tom Sandoval, but Raquel scares you.
What word?
Narcissist.
With Tom?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying
who knows. I think there's a spectrum, but like, and that's again like a very messy situation. I think there's like a lot of nuances, but overall, I can't relate to Raquel, so I can't say very many things on that.
Do you think it's possible to have like real friends from this time on Housewives?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. This is a very small club. There's only a finite number of housewives. Even if you're on a one-season wonder, right? Like you're still in a very tight-knit circle. You can be on, you can be an OG like Teresa, like Kim Zolciak, like Vicki. Or you can be like Peggy Salahian or whatever her name was. I was on that show with her. I didn't even know her name. And for one season, and everybody, you forget her. But it doesn't matter. Like, we're still in this club together. And it's like a sorority. So we have these shared experiences that no one can understand unless you have been a part of this franchise, any franchise, this club. So because of this strong shared experience that very few people in this world have, absolutely you're going to forge connections and like bonds, allyships really. And allyships are stronger than friendships. And so 100%, like even outside of people that you could meet walking down the street and be friends with, this is stronger than that. You might not be friends with these people organically, but because of this bond, you're going to be friends.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small group of people, and I mean, we can all think that we understand it, but we really don't unless you have filmed it, been a part of the social media
Overnight
abuse.
fame. That's gnarly. Overnight fame. Like, people work their whole lives to be recording artists, like musicians, actresses. That's not overnight fame because they have a hit movie, right? Like, they worked at that. We did not work for this fame. All of a sudden the show airs one time and you're famous. It is weird.
Weird good, weird bad.
Both. It's a lot. It's a lot to process. Like I said earlier, the highs are high and the lows are low.
Like, what are the lows from being overnight famous?
Well, you're putting your whole life out there, right? You're incredibly vulnerable on the most personal issues that you've ever held dear to your heart. And now you're putting them out to the world. And that sucks. And it sucks in good ways and bad ways. Like, even when it's good that, you could get support. People say, like, I see you, and you're getting validation. That feels good. It's also, like, kind of a drug. And then what feels really bad is being attacked for things that, like, you feel good about. That hurts because, like, you feel convicted in what you're doing and people don't like it. And that hurts. And they're very vocal about it.
They are very vocal about it. Where do you think this whole Housewives, the ratings for all franchises are technically down. I mean, you said the OC might be canceled, or you think that's where it's headed and it's not a good season?
I feel like it's headed to Peacock, not cancellation.
You do? You think it's going to go to Peacock?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think nothing goes on forever, right? Like, all these franchises, can this Housewives, we have a reboot, we have new cities.
Vanderpump Rules is taken over. And they got that spinoff show now. And like, those, like, they all grew up. So they're my age now, our age. Like,
yeah.
And that's like what the Housewives used to be, our age.
Yeah.
And now we like watching that. We like watching people, like, who are a little younger, a little hotter. We like watching the old people too, but, like, only if they're super interesting to look at and to, like, do, they're doing interesting things. That's harder to do when you're getting older because we're not interested in excitement. We're interested in, like, homeostasis.
Yeah, if you